It's 2:30 a.m. Eastern, Colorado State. I think for the first quarter, this game was embarrassing to both schools. It got out of hand. It was chippy, which I get, but it just looked bad. The first quarter was absolutely embarrassing to both teams. The hype was there. The celebrities were there. And it was bad to start, Paul.
It is, but this is what happens when when the world of celebrity that 20 years ago hung out at Southern Cal games and then moved and primarily to other venues. It looked like a Lakers final, from Lil Wayne to The Rock. I mean, where was Jack Nicholson? I mean, it was just amazing. But my argument, Matt, is that has to be a distraction. If you're Deion Sanders, I mean, you have to be almost as tired as you are right now. I mean, it is just, and when the Stephen A. Smiths and the Shannons and the Lil Waynes and all these guys show up, it's not like, they have to be entertained, because they're all flying in on private planes, and they all want to hang with Deion, and there's so many interviews to go along. I mean, can you imagine other coaches doing what he has gone through? So you expected that last night, but he better get real, and he better Deion ought to say, okay, let's start getting back to football now that we have two top 10 teams ahead.
I think that it helps Oregon. Now look, they beat TCU convincingly. They beat Nebraska convincingly. They were down 28-17 late last night. We all thought that the run was over because it just looked like Colorado State was going to finish that off. But give credit to Shedeur in Colorado minus Travis Hunter. They come back 92 yards, tie it, 2-point conversion, double overtime win. They won the football game. But I think it's going to help them now to get away from Boulder for a week, right, to go to Oregon. Because now, as good as this story's been through the first month of the season, it's go time now, because you've got Oregon and you've got USC in successive weeks, and you're going to learn real quickly. I know Travis Hunter's going to miss some time, but now look, as good as Deion's been for marketing the sport, and it's been brilliant for college football. If you'd have told me a decade ago Colorado would be the epicenter of not college football, but sports, I'd have laughed at you. It's football time now, because you're getting into the meat of a schedule of a conference that's got 8 ranked teams, Colorado being one of them.
Yeah, I mean, any of this would have been. I mean, but the idea that Deion has been at the epicenter of the sport for 3 weeks, and Nick Saban looks really old and clueless at times is downright shocking. But yeah, I do think overall, for all the curmudgeons out there who are rooting against Deion, this is one of the greatest things that have happened to college football in a long time. It needed an infusion. It needed some new life. And that's exactly what he has brought.
And during that, I mean, when everyone thought this thing was going to end, we were sitting on set, and Colorado State, Deion just kicked the field goal to make it 28-20. We're sitting on the set, and Colorado State's just moving down the field. We can't leave until this game's over because we need post-game sound. And we all look at each other. We're like, what's going to happen? I said, well, you know what's going to happen. It's going to go to overtime. That's just how this thing is going to go. And little by little, but Colorado State, I've never seen a team steal defeat from the jaws of victory in my life as dumb as they were at the end. But then just to watch Colorado State or Colorado come down the field and Shedeur, it's like, they're going to do this, aren't they? And this storybook ride could have ended last night, because if you lose to Colorado State and then you're doing Oregon and then you're doing USC, you're like, all right, 2-3. Remember when they were 2-0? But here we are waking up on a Sunday, and they will not let this thing go away.
No, for the 4th week in a row, they are the biggest game in the country. And I was out what would have been the biggest game of the country last week, and it felt great, but it was still in the shadow of Deion. I mean, while you're trying to recover or just barely get home, and I'm watching SportsCenter come on at 7:00 every Sunday morning, and it's the same story, Colorado.
And did I read, I thought 60 Minutes was there this week? Yeah. Think about, and here's what I'll say. He's the most brilliant marketer in college sports history. He's not the head coach that's paranoid saying no to interview requests.
No.
I mean, by the end of next week, every network television is going to have a sit down with him prior to them going to Oregon, because he continues to defy anything we thought we knew about how coaches should act and build a program.
And he's so good at it. I mean, he's fun. He is. Yeah, I mean, there are very few people in sports that can bring everyone in. And I'm tired of using Tiger, but Tiger is probably that standalone individual.
Yeah.
That did more for his sport than anyone else, because it was an individual sport. But even in team sports, there's occasionally that one guy, but Deion Sanders has, I mean, college football has literally never had anything like it. I mean, there have been moments, there have been singular athletes who are polarizing: Tebow, Johnny Manziel, Reggie Bush, but nothing like this. I mean, we are living, and you are anchoring through a seminal moment in the history of college football. Just when everyone thought, hey, next year is the year, it is right now.
It's right now. And in Boulder, Colorado last night looked like the U in its heyday, and that's all you need to know. Week 3 is done. Week 4's got so many matchups we're looking forward to. Cannot wait from a week from today to find out what happens in Ole Miss, Alabama. That's going to be a big one. Ohio State, Notre Dame. We are going to start getting clarity on this college football picture as we march into the back half of September. For Paul Finebaum, I'm Matt Barrie. We appreciate you watching the recap here on the Matt Barrie Show on the ESPN College Football YouTube channel.
Give me something I can feel. Light a cigarette.